Hey everybody, this is TotalGamerJunkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. So in this video, I want to talk about why I believe that the Chloe from the Dust timeline is going to merge with the Waves Chloe, or the Strings Chloe, whatever you want to call her. Just, the Chloe that's with Rachel. So we have received hints since the start of the Dust timeline. One of the first ones that we get is that we see Chloe and she's singing the High C songs. Now, this was very strange because in this timeline she had never met the band. So, like, how could she know their song? And it's not like, and she says, like, maybe I heard it off the radio, but it's not like she could have heard it on the radio because they're not a band like that. They're not like a big band. They're just a small time band hoping to make it big. Now the next thing we see is when Chloe is making the sculpture, the Waves Chloe, and we discover that she has created the storm. Now this had to be like a big surprise because, well, it was a big surprise. It didn't have to be a big surprise, but like it was really one of the more surprising moments for me in Arc 2 because since the storm never happened, how the hell can Chloe imagine it? You know what I mean? So, yeah, and the last bit that we get that kind of confirms that Dust and Waves Chloe will be merging together is what happens in issue 11. When Tristan's holding Max's hand, Max begins calling out to Chloe, and she's going, "Chloe, stay here." And we see one part of Chloe walking off, but then there's another part that's staying. And then with the Waves Chloe, her nose starts bleeding, her head starts hurting, and I assume it's like a big thumping. Like the way I interpret it is that the brain is like, when you like a heartbeat, how it beats like that. Just imagine your brain's doing that, but it's beating against against your skull. And the longer Max was doing this, the longer it was happening. The Chloe, the more fiercely her brain was doing this. So here's what I think would have happened, okay? And I do think this is going to happen. If Max had persisted, if she had gone the whole way, then I am 100% certain that Dust Chloe would have merged with Waves Chloe, and Tristan would have died from the pain. Or maybe instead of merging together, the Dust Chloe could have, in a sense, killed. Like, look at, whenever Max rewinds time, when in the photographs, we see that after she changes a certain point in the past, she jumps into her body at the exact same time that she left. So that could be, in a sense, what happens with Chloe. So Dust Chloe jumps into the Waves Chloe's body, and that's it. She's in control. And if Dust Chloe were to ever somehow go back to her timeline, say within a year or two, that's because, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, something could happen. Maybe she could get forced out of the timeline, and then Waves Chloe would be back in control, but she would have missed that year or two of her time because it wasn't her that was in control. Like remember when Max goes back and saves William? She has to go 5 years in the future, and she has no idea what she did. Like, she's part of the Vortex Club. She's friends with Victoria and Nathan, and Chloe's a paraplegic because since she didn't live that life, it's very unfamiliar to her. So that's another thing. I assume that Dust Chloe is going to be very uncomfortable around Rachel because her Rachel cheated on her with Frank Bowers, possibly Mark Jefferson, and was dead. So if she does come back, then it's going to be like, Rachel's here, and I guess she might feel uncomfortable around her. And speaking of Rachel, if this were to happen, she'd probably definitely hate Max for getting rid of her Chloe and bringing Max's Chloe into this timeline. And that could form like a rivalry of sorts, and Rachel could be trying to
Did you ever
figure out
lose
a
it like
way
that?
to get
You
her
know,
Chloe
before?
back, and maybe
No,
she'll try
I've
and
never
kill
seen
Max
her
or
like
something.
that. Rage
I'm not too sure.
freaked me the hell out.
So anyways, that's really all my
I'm no stranger
thoughts
to
on the
emotional
matter of
explosions,
whether or
but
not
you
Dust
are
and
who
Wave
she
Chloe will
needs
merge
to talk
together.
to, Chloe.
I hope
like
you all
Max a
enjoyed this
lot,
video, and
but
I'll see you in the next one. This is TotalGamerJunkie, signing off.